We are working on project 5-6 on page 118 of your textbook under lesson 5. And of course, I've already saved it with the correct name. And in this lesson, what we're going to do is we are going to remove and add and change some deadlines in the project schedule. So first thing that it's asking us to do is to remove the deadline for task 9. So we're going to go ahead down here and we are going to click on task 9. But if you notice over here, you can see right in this area is a green diamond. That is indicating a deadline. If you rest your mouse pointer over that, you get the dialog box that pops up and it will say, if I can get that right on there, it just pops up there for a second. Okay. Anyway, that is indicating a deadline. So I'm going to be selected on task 9 and I'm going to double click and get my information box up. Of course, you could always go up here in the properties tab and click on information, but you can go ahead and get into the information box by clicking on the actual task number. So you will see here that we have a deadline of January the 10th, and it's asking us to remove that deadline. So all you need to do is click in the box, highlight and press delete on your keyboard, and then click OK. And watch the green deadline disappear here out of the Gantt chart view. Okay, so now there is no deadline there on task number 9. Now, step 2 is changing the deadline from task 27. So I'm going to come down here to task 27 and notice that I really can't see anything here on my Gantt chart. So what you want to do when you get into this type of a situation is you always want to click up here in the editing group, and you're going to be on the format tab and you're going to say scroll to task, and now you'll notice that it scrolls over. Of course, you could always use the slider bar down here at the bottom, but it's quicker to go ahead and click on this because it will take you right over to the task. And you see here that we do have a deadline indicator right there, indicated by green. And we are going to change the deadline for this task to February 20th, 2019. So I'm just going to double click on my task, which will open up the information box. And you'll see that the deadline was February the 22nd. And we're going to change that, move it up 2 days. So we're going to click our little drop down arrow there. And we are going to go ahead and select the February 20th date. And we'll click OK and watch your green arrow here move a little bit forward. There you go. It just moved it up a couple of days. All right, number 3 is where we are going to add a deadline. So we're going to go down to task 54. And I'm going to select 54 and I'm going to scroll to my task. And you'll notice no green indications here of any deadlines because we are going to add a deadline. So I'm going to double click on my task 54, get my task information dialog box up. Notice deadline is not applicable, so we're going to put one in there. And I'm going to click my down arrow, and this does default to the current day, and we are working in 2019. So make sure that you click on the forward arrow and get into May of 2019 before you select it, May 28th. And when I click on OK, you will see our little green arrow indicating that we have a task that has a deadline. There's our green arrow, and then we're just going to go ahead and click on Save.